is ready, we will have head coach Pat Kelsey start us off with an opening statement. Coach.
Wake's a really good team. One of the best defensive teams in our conference. They're tough. They're physical. We knew we had our work cut out for us. I thought, I thought our guys for 32, 33 minutes. We played, at times as good a basketball as we played all year long. Defensively, I thought we were good. Shared the ball. Had a very good assist-to-turnover ratio. Steve's a really good coach. I've known him for a long time. As I said, I think last week or at the press conference earlier in the week, we kind of came up in the business kind of the same way. He was a, Power 5 assistant, and then, was at East Tennessee State as a head coach. I was at Winthrop, and we played some home and homes against them, and every time we play them, it's always a knockdown drag-out. They're always so well-schooled, well-prepared, and they're always really tough. And, we were fortunate to come out with a win.
Questions for Coach? Raise your hand. We'll get you a microphone.
Yeah. The first half, they had 8 field goals and 9 turnovers. What were you trying to do defensively, and what was most effective for you guys?
Well, we wanted to try to disrupt, and try to, take them out of rhythm, and I thought we did a pretty good job of that. Our deflection total at halftime was like through the roof. That's always a good indicator that you're disrupted and you're flying around. Obviously 23 is one of the best players in our conference. He's an all-ACC performer. He made those 3 threes to start the game, and I thought, all 3 were relatively tough shots, the ones that you kind of just tip your cap. I know Terrence kind of guarded him after that kind of early spell, and different guys guard him throughout the game, but I keep telling you guys that Terrence has just made a huge jump in his defense, and really our entire team has, but I thought he did a really good job on him. We were fortunate to generate some good shots, made some shots, just got rolling. The Yum was rocking. I thought the crowd was phenomenal. I know it's a school night, so some people had to get out of there a little bit early, but man, they made a major impression or major impact in the game.
Pat, your left, you guys have gotten up big on several opponents here. What are you seeing and feeling when your team kind of gets on those rolls in these games?
Yeah, we're just clicking. You just kind of. You feel it. We have a lot of momentum, playing well together. Our offense is, in a great rhythm, and then they're really guarding. And we just always, no matter what the score is, if you're up 20, if you're up 25, if you're up 27, when we get those media timeouts, the first question I always ask is, what's the score? And they all say 0-0, and then we just try to win that next 4-minute segment. So typically our team is really, really good in that regard. The last 8 minutes, it wasn't that way. It's good that we have some teachable moments. We have some things that we can really clean up late in the game. I thought we generated some open shots. We couldn't really get any to go down, and I felt like it kind of affected our defense a little bit, and that hasn't been the case. But it's good that we have some things that I can have a little bit of an aggressive counseling session with them tomorrow in film.
Coach, if you could just kind of talk about, it seemed like you had that 1-3-1 defense of Wake scouted, because immediately as soon as they went to that 1-3-1, you got 4 or 5 really good looks out of that. Just kind of talk about how this team soaks up the scouting report and executes.
I really do. I give our team a lot of credit. We prepared for their 1-3-1 the last couple days, but I just didn't feel good going to bed last night that I liked our approach. So staff and I, we watched, every possession of their 1-3-1 throughout the course of the season. I think they've played like 89 possessions throughout the course of the year, and made some tweaks. And at the shoot-around yesterday, we kind of scrapped what we had done the last couple of days and went to kind of like a new attack. And the guys, like they always do, picked it up and executed it really well.
Coach, what can you say about the progression of Kenai Roos and what you've seen out of him this season?
Yeah, Kenai's been great for us. He's the lone freshman on a team with a bunch of older dudes, and I've said it from the very beginning, he doesn't carry himself like a freshman. He never has. It's like from the first time we had a workout, and I kind of tried to dummy some stuff down to him, and like you do with freshmen, sometimes you spoon feed him. He's like, Coach, I got it. I got it. Don't slow down for me. I love that. He's a very conscientious teammate. His teammates love him. Works hard every day. And he's a phenomenal kid and a very, very, very talented young man.
Pat.
Okay, sorry.
Wake didn't have a run at all in the first half, and they didn't have a run greater than 4 points until the last 5 minutes of the second half. How hard is that for a team to do defensively? And have you had a team like that, especially against a caliber opponent like Wake? Have you ever had a team do that before?
It'd be hard to go back and think. I've coached a lot of teams and some really good teams, but you're right. I mean, and I keep talking about it in the press conference. It's just the attention to detail and scouting report in the 1-2. I almost called it a movement. I told her it's like there's a movement going on with our team from a defensive perspective, and it starts in the minds and hearts of each guy in a Louisville jersey, and it just matters. Getting stopped matters. Taking care of their assignment matters. Picking up, for a mistake of your teammate matters. Defense is an attitude, and our guys have been playing with that little bit of a chip on their shoulder for the better part of the last month and a half.
You talked about the teachable moments you will have going forward here. Why is it so important in a game that you trailed, I think it was 53 seconds total, why is it so important that in those closing minutes that you keep holding them accountable?
It's 0-0, and we lost that 4-minute segment, and that's the last thing we did, And so it's just, I make sure I tell them how pleased I am with them. I'm not crazy, I make sure I tell them that A, I love them, and B, I'm proud of them because they're doing some special things. What's going on in this city, and the energy and the excitement and the buzz and the vibe, that's awesome. And these guys have put in a ton of time, and they care so much about what they've created because they want to give back to this community so much. They want to make them proud. And don't get it twisted. Like, that really matters to our guys. This town matters. So I make sure I tell them I'm proud of them too. But then, I always say, and I don't know who said this, but somebody did. I've just stolen everything from everybody. But if you're not teaching it, you're allowing it. If you're not coaching it, you're allowing it. We coach everything. We coached the walk-ons and the managers and the GAs at the shoot-around session this morning in each of their rebounding things. The energy they have to bring, the voice they have to bring, everything matters. So it's what's fun about teaching and coaching. We can win a big game against these guys, and I'm proud of our guys and happy, but I can't wait to go turn on that tape to the last 8 minutes and see what we can clean up.
I want to ask you about Hepburn and Hadley specifically, just Hepburn's unselfishness, Hadley's effort all the time.
Yeah.
You see it.
Man. Javon is, Pete's. He's special, man. He's just a special kid. He's so mature. He's way more mature than I am, which maybe it's not hard to do, but he, just the way he goes about his work, his relentless pursuit of the basketball and the glass. And we got other guys like that as well, but you asked me about Javon specifically. Like, he empties the tank on every possession, and he's really grown, man. He's had an unbelievable season. You could see the positions we're putting him in. He's getting more and more kind of clout in our offense, running stuff through him a lot. We put him at the point, let him run some actions. I love coaching Javon. And, Chucky, we had 8 assists, 3 turnovers today. I mean, I keep saying it. He's playing at as high a level and as good as any point guard in America, and I wouldn't trade him for anybody.
Yeah, I feel like a common theme during this 10-game winning streak is just how well just how well prepared you guys are for these games. As someone who is on the scout team, could you kind of speak to the importance of having the scout team? Keep guys ready.
Yeah,
for any
25
games.
strong, man. Like you guys have heard me say that before. 25 strong. Just now that we're at the Power 5 level, like when I was a mid-major level, there was probably literally 25 people in our thing, but and there's a lot more than 25 now. But symbolically, 25 is we have that number as a reason. But every single person, whether it's Dana, who's phenomenal at what she does her job with excellence every day because it matters. The student managers, I always say hire those guys and thank me later because they're just so hardworking, so resourceful. The scout team guys, like memorizing the sets of the other team, memorizing the baseline out of bounds alignments of the other team, and identifying when the other team lines up in that baseline out of bounds what's coming, and they're screaming it out to our players. That matters. I was a scout team guy playing for the late great Skip Prosser, at Xavier and Wake Forest, and I just took so much pride in that. And my job was not to let those starters down by preparing them with everything I got every day. And we try to make sure that every person in our organization, the fan base is part of the 25 strong. They have a job to do, and they're doing it. They're showing up in big numbers, and they're being loud, and they're making an impact on the game. Everything goes into winning, and we just make sure everybody knows how much we appreciate. The fans know how much we appreciate them. The walk-ons, the GAs, the managers, Dana, the academic people. I mean, I could keep going down the line. 25 strong is real, and it matters to us, and it's important. It's a big part of our culture.
Can I just ask this like a quick follow-up? Because doing what you say to try to get everything down pat, to memory seems very hard. And when you guys are starting your scout, basically, you don't have much time to do this sort of thing. Just what does it take for those guys to try to get that
the assistants have their scouts, right? So we break up all the games by assistants, and then as soon as this game ends, right? And I don't even know who has the Georgia Tech scout, but that coach will get with the scout team tomorrow, and then they'll start going over everything. And we don't show our guys everything, but the scout team knows everything. I have scout team pride, walk-on pride, man. I don't have it tattooed on me, but it might as well be because it really matters. And, Skip Prosser treated me like I was the Chucky Hepburn of that team, right? He didn't treat me like a second-class citizen because I was not a starter and didn't play a lot of minutes. He valued my role, and we will always do that in our organization as well.
Pat, even in a game where you guys were up by nearly 30, you mentioned how there were still some teachable moments in that second half. When it seemed like they were starting to take their foot off the gas a little bit, and you call that late timeout in the last few minutes. What was your message to them?
Well, we gave up a free throw, an offensive rebound off of a free throw, which is cardinal sin in our. I mean, it drives me nuts. So we had two back-to-back plays where we didn't block out, and they got second shots, and it's just not what we're about. And I don't care what the score is; it's not acceptable. So we learn from it, and we'll be better moving forward.
Anything else for Pat? All right, thank you all.
Appreciate it.
There's also a scout teamer at center.